It looks like the fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall is closer to happening than we might have imagined. Jon Jones revealed that the UFC is offering him a very good paycheck for his next fight, which will definitely take place in 2025. Additionally, Tom Aspinall also confirmed that negotiations with the UFC are going well and that he's happy with how things are progressing. Check out the latest statements from Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall about their potential fight, as well as Francis Ngannou's comments on who he thinks Jon Jones should fight next, Alex Pereira or Tom Aspinall, and his desire to face Jones to settle who is the greatest heavyweight of all time. First, take a look at what Jon Jones said this week, revealing that he plans to fight in 2025 and is already in talks with the UFC for his next match. So right now, the UFC and we're in negotiations. We're in talks to see what happens next. I'm back in the gym, I'm training, I feel really great. The team's support, they're right behind me, and we'll just be ready for whatever opportunity comes our way. There is a dollar amount in mind, but I'm not going to discuss that publicly. We'll just have to wait and see. I will be competing in 2025, more than likely. It's been awesome. Something feels different about this win. I feel like the whole world's really excited about it. The UFC has elevated it to an even higher place, and I feel at the right place at the right time. I'm grateful for it all. Tom Aspinall echoed Jon Jones, saying that he too is in talks with the UFC and is just waiting for the organization to set a date. Yeah, we're in negotiations right now. That's the honest answer. So, we don't know when the fight is going to be, but I'll be ready to go whenever. I'm back in the gym now. I'm back in the gym training, as always. I'll be ready to fight when they let me know. Until then, I'll be improving, I'll be getting better. So, no great rush on that. Obviously, I want to fight as soon as possible. But, right now, we're just waiting on a date. That's it. Francis Ngannou also chimed in on the matter, sharing his honest opinion that Jon Jones isn't wrong for being hesitant about fighting Tom Aspinall. He also mentioned who he thinks Jones should fight next, whether it's the Englishman or Alex Pereira. First of all, I think this is about a negotiation situation that's involved where we don't know the ups and downs. We all know that the UFC uses that in a negotiation. Oh, no, he doesn't want to fight this guy, he's scared, and then that's how the machine works. He's in a position to pick what he wants. As he said, Aspinall needs that fight, I don't need it, and when you look at it, pretty much true. There's nothing more that he's going to gain in that fight other than money. But for Aspinall, which is someone that's coming and trying to cement his way in the division, that would be everything. Honestly, I would like to see whoever he wants to face, Pereira or Aspinall. He can pick that. Although I think Aspinall will be more challenging fight because Aspinall respond to a ground game, wrestling, better than Pereira. But he can do whatever he wants, it's his call. Because when you get at that point like you only fight if you want to fight. You better have a fight that you want for a good reason. I think if he doesn't need it or if he want it, that's all. Francis Ngannou was also asked who he believes is the best heavyweight right now, and here's what he had to say. I include myself in that. Even though Stipe lost the fight, I think you can't disregard what he has done as a heavyweight. People kind of forget really fast. And even though Jon Jones might, for me, the best fighter overall, I personally cannot classify him as the best heavyweight of all time. He is established as a fighter, but not as a heavyweight, that's my take. I claim that title, best heavyweight currently. And there's opportunity to set it that. We can set it that once for all. You know, as he said, he only talk about the UFC business, and I think we all know about that. He's in the promotion deal and I'm in the promotion deal, and if these two promotion comes along, figure out a way. Talking about established champion or not would not help. I think right now his only option is in the roster and my option are in my roster. That's just how it is. He is not what we want or would like to have, doesn't matter much, but the reality is we both know. We both won this fight for sure, and then it will be a good thing, good fight for us. There's more into this to like legacy and everything. I mean, I can finish my career at some point, but he will always be great to know that, okay, you faced that guy. which is the best in the sport to ever do the sport. Because besides the adversity, besides he believed that I can beat him, I still believe that Jones is the great fighter as fighter concerned. I think he's the best fighter. Francis Ngannou's coach, Eric Miocic, also shared his thoughts on the Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall debate. He revealed what he believes would be the perfect strategy for Aspinall against Jones. The toughest competition has got to be Francis. That's an argument that I think sucks because there's nothing we can do about it right now. The toughest competition right now that makes sense is Tom Aspinall because they're both in the same promotion. His footwork and feet. That was the thing that jumped off the page to me the most in working with Tom, his ability to be able to switch stances in the heavyweight division that is not normally doing the things he can do. Also, he's very smart, he understands the game. When you talk to him, he also understands that he's fighting in the heavyweight division where at any moment somebody could put your lights out. So, he's constantly trying to leverage his best ability against his opponent's worst. I actually talked to Tom on Monday. We were kind of going back and forth on some of the game planning things. You can't be in that range and just kind of get snake charmed by Jon. Let him grab your hands, let him dictate the pace and dictate the rhythm. You have to be hyper-aggressive in those positions, and I think that is what Tom would have to do in that fight. Daniel Cormier also commented on Jon Jones and, unlike Francis Ngannou, said that no fighter has ever been as successful as Jones, calling him the best heavyweight of all time. And while I was surprised, I knew that this fight could go one of two ways. It could be very close, it could be very competitive, or it could be one-sided. Tonight we got option 2, the one-sided fight where Miocic didn't get much accomplished. This dude proved time and time again how good he is, and I truly believe a lot of it is due to the hard work, the fight IQ, and the toughness, the durability that he possesses inside the octagon. It does not matter what I feel about Jon Jones in life, I respect him immensely as a fighter. He does a lot of the right things when he's inside that octagon, and that has led to him having more success than anyone has had. We need to see him fight Tom Aspinall. Aspinall's big, he's explosive, and he's a young interim champion. That seems to be a guy that can give Jon Jones problems, but we've thought many times that guys would give Jones problems, and none of them have been able to do that. Cormier elaborated on Jones' fight against Stipe Miocic and commented on Jones' performance. This fight was built as the greatest heavyweight of all time taking on who many consider the greatest fighter of all time. From the very start of this fight it was very apparent that these two are not on the same level. From round 1, Jon Jones has a 10-8 round in round 1. That early takedown played such a massive part in the way that the fight played out because it took a lot out of Stipe, and then he looked slow chasing Jon down. When a guy like Jon Jones gets into the octagon, you have to be prepared for so much because there's so much coming at you. So these guys will put people in training camps to try and replicate that, but then when you're in there with him, it's so different because the speed is different, the fight IQ is different, the ability to set up all those weapons is much different. It looked like Stipe expected something, and he got something completely different. It was a wipeout. It really was a wipeout. So, folks, Jon Jones is really making waves, and most people are eager to see the American take on Tom Aspinall. But what about you? Do you think Jon Jones should fight Aspinall? Or do you think Jones should fight Alex Pereira instead of the Englishman? Share your opinion in the comments so we can chat. If you're really into MMA and like staying up to date with everything happening in the fight world, it's definitely worth checking out these other 2 videos on the screen. These 2 videos are super important, and I'm absolutely sure you'll enjoy them and stay well informed about the latest MMA news. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like to help spread the content. We're in this together, and see you next time.